Alright, am I audible right now? Sorry I'm a little bit late. Some things ran on a little longer than I thought. And it's weird. I got worried because like I start the stream, right? And I go away because I'm like, okay, I gotta get some last minute stuff done while the pre-stream's going. And I look and it's like YouTube's telling me that my audio bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. And I'm like, the fuck you mean? I haven't changed anything in the settings since last time. Like, it's so weird. It's like YouTube is literally telling me the audio stream's current bitrate, 0, is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend that you use an audio stream bitrate of 128 kilobytes. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I haven't changed anything in my settings. So I got worried. I was like, wait, are people not able to listen to the music? So I had to check on YouTube, on the YouTube app. And it's like, no, music's still coming through. So I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you telling me this? I don't need this. Oh, God. Alright, I need to address something before we continue. So I know I said on Thursday night, the last stream, that I was gonna be streaming Friday, and that was the plan. That was the plan. However, literally hours after I finished that stream, I got sick. I have no idea what happened. All I know is that a couple hours after I had ended for the night, I just suddenly came down with a fever, and I have no idea. And literally I spent the next morning just tossing and turning in bed, trying to sleep while dealing with a fever. And that sucked, because I did not get good sleep. But, I was able to, but I did get better later that day. Like, my fever did break. But, I was just so fucking tired that I decided to basically cancel that stream because I was so fucking exhausted and I just wasn't feeling that great. But, thankfully I was able to, but thankfully because I did do that, it did leave me with a little more energy in order to attend D&D later that night, which was great. But, yeah, so, however, later that day, I also came down with congestion, which you can definitely hear. And I've been taking medicine. I've been taking medicine to try and, like, you know, speed the process up. And the congestion is slowly going away. But unfortunately, it takes time. And I wish it didn't. I also have a little bit of a cough. However, I will say right now, it's not COVID. There is no fucking way I came down with COVID. Because trust me, if it was COVID again, I don't think I would be doing this tonight. Because, COVID wiped me out the first few days. And even on the first, even on Friday, my symptoms weren't nearly as severe as they were during the first day of COVID. So but I literally have no idea what happened. The only thing I can think of is that my body just glitched. My body literally just glitched out. Or I just caught a cold. And it was weird too, because my dad has the exact same symptoms. Because he's also sick. And the thing is, though, is that we both feel physically fine outside of the congestion. You know, we're just a little tired. Because congestion fucking sucks when you're trying to sleep. But yeah, other than that, we feel fine. We're still able to do stuff. But still, I was really like, I cannot tell you how disappointed I was that I had to cancel the stream on Friday. Because it's like, I was so looking forward to finishing this game before October, but it's like... Excuse me. But unfortunately, it's like, can't really do anything about that. And maybe it was for the best, because I would have been talking for 9 hours straight if I had done that. So it was probably a blessing in disguise. But yeah, so that's why the stream didn't happen on Friday. And I would have done it yesterday if I wasn't so busy. But thankfully, we're doing it tonight. We're finishing off Justice for All. Thank God. And then later on this week, on the 7th, I believe? Because I think the 8th is a Saturday. Yeah. So on the 7th, we're getting back to the letter. Yay! Ugh. Oh, I can't wait. I actually don't know if there is gonna be a break, this stream. But if there isn't, I do know of a good place we can end it on. It's such a mean thing to do, but screw it. Anyway, I think I've spent enough time, getting stuff out of the way. So how about we go on to the finale of Justice for All. Alright. Say goodbye to Firefox, everybody. We're not gonna see it again in a little bit. Boop. Alright. Whoops. Oh. Do 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 do. God, I should have known I was, like, I should have known I was going, I should have, like, taken the sore throat as a hint that, by the way, you're falling sick. You might want to take medicine before it gets super bad. But no, I just thought it was a weird thing. The thing is, though, like, I don't know how the fuck I got sick. It's like, I mean, I'm a fucking shut-in, basically. The only person I met outside of my house was my brother. But why would the sickness take a week to fucking get to me? And my dad came back from Michigan last... Wait, what? Wow, my sense of time is all screwy today. Last week. Last Wednesday. Alright, let me go get my controller. God, it fucking sucks. It's like, man, my voice acting's still not gonna be up to par. Like, I thought after the sore throat it would be good, but nope, now you're gonna have to hear nasal. Just nasal. Ugh. At the very least, like, because I know that my congestion is running its course because I've been sneezing a lot. And usually, if I'm sneezing a lot while I'm congested, that means that, okay, it's on its way out. It does mean, however, that every time I sneeze, there's always that chance that the whole desk is just going to be a fucking mess. Because, like, there's just going to be, like, snot everywhere. Excuse me. There we go. Alright. I'm not gonna lie. When I was sitting down, like, my keyboard is so close to the edge of the desk, I thought my tits were gonna hit the keys on the keyboard. Alright. Alright, so what happened last time on Phoenix Wright Justice for All? Well, we had a little bit more of an investigation, and we found out the truth behind the murder of Juan Carita. It turns out that Shelley the Killer, the assassin, and the murderer of Juan Carita was hired by none other than our client, Matt Ungard, who turned out to have a sinister side hidden to him, and killed Juan because he found out Matt's secret, and Matt doesn't want his image to be ruined. And it turns out that the secret was that Adrian's old mentor and love interest, excuse me, sums it up pretty well. Hi, Plush. How have you been? It's been a rough couple days for me, as you can tell. Anyway, so Adrian's old mentor, Celeste Impax, turns out to have dated Matt Ungard, but Matt, being a player, pretty much dumped her ass, and Celeste then moved on from Global Studios to Worldwide Studios, where she met with Juan, and they fell in love, and they were so happy together, to the point that they were even thinking about getting married. However, when Juan announced the engagement, that was when Matt countered him with the fact that, by the way, me and Celeste used to date each other, asshole! You got my sloppy seconds! And Juan... I'm gonna sneeze. Son of a bitch. I hate it when I don't sneeze. Oh my god. Alright, sorry about that. But anyway, so Juan, feeling, his pride being wounded, called off the engagement, and later that night, and that was why Celeste killed herself. Because Matt pretty much drove her over the horizon. However, in her suicide note, it was revealed that she had written down a bunch of Matt's misdeeds and all that. And Adrian revealed it to the court, helped by Edgeworth, of course. However, it seems like the authenticity of the suicide note has been called into question. However, we don't know if it's really true whether or not Celeste wrote it, or if it was a forgery. I mean, granted, we just pulled that out of our ass to stall for time. Anyway, because of that, we did manage to find out that Shelly the Killer was keeping Maya in Unguard Mansion. However, by the time we figured that out, the Killer and Maya had already scurried out of the house and all that, and Maya left for us a message that said, pretty much, don't worry about me, get on guard, the guilty verdict. Now, of course, it's a difficult choice for us to make, because it's like, do we serve justice or do we save Maya? However, throughout the course of the trial, Gumshoe has been trying to help us out, trying to locate Maya and all that. And then towards the end of the last stream, he found decisive pieces of evidence to hand to us during the trial. However, he got into a fucking car crash. He got into a fucking car wreck, and now we have to rely on Franziska to get here with the pieces of evidence. But who knows if she's gonna want to help us? So now we are stuck at an impasse. So let's dive on in to the last part of Justice for All. Can we get on guard the verdict he deserves of guilty? Or do we get him not guilty in order to save Maya? Let's find out. March 23rd, 2:35 p.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. Alright, who's ready for the voice acting quality to be all over the place? Alright. Court will now reconvene. I assume both... Okay, already it's starting to go. Alright. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? That is... It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? What the fuck do you think, Phoenix? Like, he was literally in the room with us when we heard Gumshoe crash. We probably put the phone on speaker. So that means everyone heard Gumshoe fucking crash. What the fuck you mean, what's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impact's suicide note.
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that the suicide note is a forgery. Ah! So Celeste didn't write it. What?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This note was not written by Miss Impax herself. It is a fake. Again, I'm so sorry for the voices not sounding the same. I am so congested.
Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impax, then who wrote it?
We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Wong Kurita. Wow, so this motherfucker forged his former fiance's suicide note in order to, and was going to present that at the press conference that of the award show that Matt won to ruin him. How low do you have to go for a fucking rivalry? Keep in mind, this is a rivalry between two TV stars. This isn't like movie actors or anything like that. This is for a couple of like TV show actors for kids shows. Like, how serious is this shit? Excuse me. Mr. Kurita? Well. It looks like Miss Impax never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about On Guard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. On Guard could not have known that, and so that fact remains unchanged. I'm starting to think that this is going deeper than we thought. Maybe it was something more personal than just... that could be a point. However, the game never elaborates on that. I will admit that right now. The game never elaborates on that. They only just say that this was a rivalry. But you're not wrong. Like, dude, I feel like no one would go this far for over a fucking rivalry. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he applauded to possess it.
That does sound very plausible.
This theory that On Guard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. I didn't even get my walkthrough pulled up. Alright, that's not what I need. Okay. The defense believes that the The defense believes that the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. On Guard to have not known it was a fake. Oh, right. Could I?
What is this little item called again?
A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but...
Oh, that's right, a camera. You kids and your fancy toys nowadays.
Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. On Guard knew of the existence of this note because he was spying on the victim. Isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. On Guard would have known that the victim had forged the note. Ah!
So then, the defendant knew this suicide note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very dramatic way.
Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. On Guard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air.
But, Your Honor, It's not as if Mr. Ungar monitored Mr. Karina 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Ungar didn't know of. Well, right back at you, Mr. Edgeworth! Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery in an unknown place? Ugh. Listen, I promise I'm not suffering from COVID. Or at the very least, it's not severe. Order! 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 Mr. Edgeworth, it looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave. As I figured. Huh? As you figured? As I figured, it came down to this after all. Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense. When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Ungar's motive through the evidence, then we must prove it from another angle. Well, I agree with you there. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time. Oh, well, that's fine. You dare use my own spells against me, Phoenix? You know what? You know, like, the funny thing is that I brought them up before, but the Save Data team, the people who make the Ace Attorney with an actual lawyer, the lawyer says that, like, technically Phoenix is not wrong for doing that, because technically the prosecution's trying to prove the case, that that Matt Ungar did it. And so the fact that, like, and of course Phoenix, and of course, like, an actual court, a defense attorney is only supposed to prove reasonable doubt for their client. So in this instance, like, it does make sense for Phoenix to be like, listen, you're trying to prove that you're trying to prove that my client committed the crime. Well, you're gonna have to show some proof of that. And I just made, the burden of proof lies with you, bud. I don't know if I'm making any sense. However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering? This isn't like him at all. Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth? This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of, who was it that hired Shelley to kill her to commit murder? That's impossible! Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty! Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness? It's, you ready for a plot twist? Yes? Go on! Who is it? The man himself. Mr. Shelley the Killer. Oh, Mr. the Killer. You ever just, you know those moments in anime where if you want to show someone processing something, you just have, like, the three dots appear slowly above their head, just like, do. Wait! Shelley the Killer? You mean the killer? Or, I mean, the assassin? Yes, Your Honor. He's coming here? To the witness stand? Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask for your permission. Well, Mr. Wright,
Yes?
Is this alright with you?
Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, Your Honor.
I wonder if it really is alright to do this.
Very well then. The prosecution calls its witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? I'm so sorry for the quality of the voice acting. Now then, witness. Your name and your, occupation, please.
Very good, sir.
My name is Shelley the Killer, and I am a professional assassin. So yeah, he's using a radio to fucking talk.
I say! What is going on here?
Your Honor.
How can you remain so calm? And what is the meaning of this two-way radio?
Actually, Your Honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about.
Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself.
Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are, in fact, Shelley the Killer.
I understand.
Please wait a second.
I'm so hungry.
Maya! Maya!
A voice! Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything from this?
The defense has no objections to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer.
Looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so...
Now then, witness. There is one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else.
And what would that be?
At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Wong Kurita. Is this correct?
It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Kurita.
Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client.
Very well. This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it, a bad dream.
Shelley the Killer. What is he going to say? Witness testimony about my client.
There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us.
While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only stating the truth. He is no hypocrite, He has always stood by this one belief.
You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix.
All right. There's something I must first state. Chota! Time to ruthlessly pester him. We can hear anything you have to say later. Can you please just tell us your client's...
I don't think you understand your place, Mr. Attorney. I said this is something I must first state. Do you know what the word first means?
Sorry. Go on.
Well, it appears this is one witness you can't badger, Mr. Wright.
That's only because you don't know about Maya's situation. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. Chota! The trust between you and your client?
I provide my services in a fast and efficient manner. In exchange, I trust that my clients are discreet about me and my identity. If too many people knew my face, it would be quite troublesome. And that's why you're testifying in this manner. This is the first time one of my clients has ever been accused of murder. I must preserve the killer name so my clients can trust me.
But couldn't someone stab you in the back and break your trust?
It has never happened before, but if it ever did...
Yes?
That person wouldn't be my client for very long. They would certainly... That's enough! Please, no more! Very well. It was only a hypothetical anyway.
And that is the reason I am here today on the witness stand. Chota! That seems a little strange to me. I mean, you're about to tell us the name of your client. I would think that this would be very bad for them.
It doesn't matter to me. This client has already broken the rules and acted outside of their prescribed role. Their role? This person tried to implicate another of the crime in order to save themselves. And this is a trespass that cannot be forgiven. You... Who gave you the right to be so high and mighty? To the gentleman who spoke just now. Excuse me, but would you care to die? Ah, no! I, didn't say anything!
The judge had better watch himself. For some reason, my mind immediately went to, Callie's first song, like, excuse me, but would you please rip? It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give the name of my client. Chota! We understand, so please tell us the name of your client.
I'm afraid I cannot do that. I still have a few things to say before I do.
Ah! That egomaniacal...
It's not good for your health to be so aggravated. You won't live very long if you let everything bother you.
Somehow that coming from an assassin makes it less than comforting. I don't really care about all this extra fluff. Just tell us the name already. Yeah, right.
Patience. Try to calm down a little. It's important to try and understand his mindset. He seems very steadfast and closed, so you're going to have to work to get him to talk.
I'm not his therapist, you know. Okay. What do I do, Mia? Okay. Chottabatte. Oh my god, I'm so fucking... I hate this.
I'm sorry, but I was wondering about something you just said. You said that your client had already broken the rules.
A person who frames another is the worst kind of human.
That's funny you say that.
And that's why you feel you can betray this person.
I have no trust relation with a client who can't understand their assigned role.
Just my luck. An assassin with a conscience. Who would have figured?
Now then, everyone, do you think you can understand my logic?
This case just keeps getting better and better.
If you can't, then I'm afraid we can't proceed.
Everyone understands your point, I think. Really.
In that case, I believe I am prepared to disclose the information you seek. You have made it crystal clear that you value trust over all else. I believe we are ready. Excellent. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. Now then, I do believe it's about time I reveal the name of my client. Don't you agree?
Chotto!
What is it?
Now I can't bring myself to ask the client's name.
If you can't ask it, Mr. Wright, then I will.
Witness.
What is the name of your client who requested the murder of Mr. Wong Kurita? That person's name is... Adrian Andrews.
What?
Igiotti!
Witness. That's not who you told me it was earlier. Pray tell, what are you talking about, Mr. Prosecutor? I should think I know my own client, and it is Adrian Andrews.
What?
Yeah, so he's clearly lied.
This can't be. On the phone earlier...
What's going on here? My guess is that Mr. DeKiller just stabbed Mr. Edgeworth in the back. Stabbed Edgeworth in the back? I'm sure in order to get an audience with this court, Mr. DeKiller told him a different name. Matt on guard, perhaps? I knew it.
Igiotti!
This is outrageous! I was deceived. This witness is telling a very serious lie.
But you were the one who summoned this witness!
You... Shelley DeKiller! My testimony is the truth. The defendant at the moment is Matt on guard. Am I correct? All I wish to do is help procure his acquittal.
Wow. All of a sudden, it feels like we can actually win this.
Yeah. God, I hate that I'm congested for this shit.
The prosecution has failed to provide a motive and has instead provided this suicide note, which is a forgery created by the victim. Furthermore, there is a possibility that the defendant himself knew it was a fake. But most definitive of all, we have heard from the assassin himself, the name of his client. Mr. The Killer's client who requested the murder was not the defendant at all.
No.
With all this evidence, it is obvious to me that this means that Mr. Matt on guard is innocent.
Shit. Excuse me.
I seem to have caused you all a bit of confusion. Please, continue your discussion, and call me when you have reached a verdict.
Well, shit.
Bailiff, please bring Miss Adrian Andrews in immediately.
What now? With the way this is going, On Guard will be found innocent. This may be our last chance to save Maya.
Yeah. But Edgeworth is right. The killer is lying.
And On Guard, my client, I know he's guilty.
Can I live with myself if I win this?
Who would have believed that the prosecution's own witness would absolve the defendant?
Your Honor, the prosecution requests permission to further question the witness. Shelley the Killer is certainly lying under oath. It wasn't me! Listen, everyone, please! That testimony just now, it was all one big lie!
Miss Andrews.
The suicide note may have been a fake, but that man, Matt, he's the reason Celeste died! And Juan's death, it was all because he got pulled into Matt's twisted world! That testimony just now, you have to believe me! It was a horrible, horrible lie!
But Mr. The Killer himself has testified. He has named you as his client.
No! That's not true!
Also, there's quite a bit of evidence that points to you. The knife and button, donning the nickel samurai costume.
But that's...
You even have a motive. We know that Miss Celeste Impax was a large part of your life. You wanted to follow her, and you wanted revenge against the two who hurt her. I would say you have plenty of reasons to want them both dead.
No! Mr. Wright! You know the truth! Tell them! Tell them the real story! Who the real killer is! Tell them! Please, help me!
Yes, I know the truth.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
I believe we have reached the end of this trial. Therefore, I ask the defense for any final words or opinions.
I have to decide. Do I take the not guilty verdict and save Maya? Or do I throw this chance away and wait for Gumshoe's new evidence? What am I supposed to do? We're not at the choice yet, so.
Phoenix.
I can't do it, Mia. I can't accept a not guilty.
You're a lawyer.
I know. But Matt on Guard is a killer. A murderer! I can't let him get away with this. I can't let someone else take the fall. If I let Miss Andrews be convicted, then I'm no better than On Guard.
And even though I don't want to admit it, I have to face the fact that it's because of Edgeworth that I now know the real truth. He could have gotten On Guard convicted so many times over, but he never took a single one of those chances. If I take this verdict right now, I'd be betraying his trust, his love in me. His trust?
This makes Phoenix bad at his job. Well, to be fair, it's like... He knows that Matt is the killer, but he can't do anything because Maya hasn't been rescued yet. You know, it's like he's basically... He's being forced to play by the rules the assassin gave him, even though that this is tearing him apart because... that his morality is tearing him apart because it's like, what do I care more about? The life of my dear friend or justice? His trust?
I never thought about it until now. I trust him? I love him?
No.
Yes, you do.
Mr. Wright, your opinion, please.
The defense requests that we be allowed to further question Mr. the Killer.
Am I hearing you correctly, Mr. Wright?
Right.
But, that witness has cleared your client through his testimony. Your job here is done.
I'm not done yet. To see through witnesses' lies and find the truth. That is my job, Your Honor.
Oh my god, I'm so stuffed.
There's still more evidence to look at. And I'm sure that once those pieces arrive here in this very courtroom, a miracle will occur.
Very well. The trial will continue. Mr. Edgeworth, please re-establish connection with Mr. the Killer.
Right away, Your Honor.
Has a verdict been reached?
Before that, we would like to talk with you a little more.
About? All you needed from me was the name of my client. What else could you need me for?
Well, actually, we would like to hear everything you know about this case.
That is how things are. That's how things are usually done.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What is he talking about? Usually done.
But what shall we have him testify about now?
Mr. the Killer, if you don't mind, please testify about your client in more detail.
You legal people and your procedures. Is it any wonder no one likes to go to court?
Witness testimony about my client, part 2.
As I have already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, one thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. My client did it to frame another for the crime. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Kurita was dead. But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button.
That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules.
This is a most unexpected turn of events for the, 5th time now? However, this time everything has finally been revealed. Igati.
Just a second, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Edgeworth?
We still have the cross-examination to do.
But you don't need to question testimony like this. Do you, Mr. Wright?
Yes, that's my job. Your Honor, the defense will question the witness, as if I have a choice here.
Huh? Why? What this witness has said is nothing but beneficial to the defense's case.
It's alright. It's alright. I hate congestion.
If you scrutinize the testimony, then
I'll expose the lies in that oh-so-beneficial testimony, I suppose.
I don't understand what's going on anymore.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are either at this point. That makes 2 of us. The poor judge, like, he has no idea what's going on. It's like, he probably thinks that, like... I mean, we did check the time. It's like after, it's like after 2 in the afternoon. Trials usually end, like little into the mid-afternoon, so... So it's probably getting close to that time where it's like, bro, I want to go home. I'm tired. As I've already stated quite a few times, Adrian Andrews is my client. However, Chota!
What is it, Mr. Wright?
If I press him the wrong way, it might raise suspicions on his end. But I have to do something to waste more time. Witness. About requesting a hit.
Yes.
How much is your fee?
I see you are also quite a dark-hearted man, Mr. Attorney.
Huh?
If you would like to talk business, we could do so after the trial.
Ah! No! I'm not thinking of hiring...
Mr. Wright!
Yes?
You want to kill me! You want me dead, don't you?
What the fuck? What the fuck? No! Listen, the only thing I want dead is my sickness. Oh my god. Oh my god. God, if there is one thing that I am grateful for, I have tissues all around me. What? Why would you think something like that, Your Honor?
Guilty! Mr. Phoenix Wright! You are hereby declared guilty!
Witness, let's continue. Why did you disclose the name of your client? They're your client, are they not? What the fuck was that line of questioning? One thing I simply cannot overlook is tampering with the scene of the crime. Chotto! I would think that most people wouldn't be able to overlook a person hiring another to kill.
If I had a problem with such a thing, I wouldn't be very effective at my job.
Ah, yeah. Well, a change in occupation might be good for you.
However, I will say this. Even though I am the one that does the deed, my clients are always the real guilty party.
That goes without saying, Mr. Killer.
And their fate is to live with the knowledge of their guilt on their shoulders. However, my client this time thought that they could run away from their guilt.
My client did it to frame another for the crime. Chotto! Are you talking about the button and the knife?
Yes, and my business card.
Oh, this card.
So that no one has to waste their time, including the police. I always make it a point to make things as easy as possible. You try to make things easy? My business card makes it very easy to identify who carried out the service.
He's pretty devoted to his work.
But to disregard everything, to go and stab the deceased with a knife, and even hide my card from sight, that is something I cannot overlook.
It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not without him being here. While pretending to be the first person to discover the body and enter the scene, Chotto! So you're saying most clients wouldn't do such a thing?
That is correct. Usually, most people try to create an alibi for themselves. If you should use my services, Mr. Attorney, I would suggest you plan for your alibi too.
No! I already told you! I have no intention of using your services! Ever! And the judge is just giving me, like, a mean look. Why does he keep looking at me like I'm the one on trial here?
Adrian Andrews already knew from the very beginning that Juan Kurita was dead.
Chotto!
From the very beginning. That is correct. From before my client visited the room. All of my clients know precisely what the situation is at all times.
I wonder if that's really true.
That's odd.
Huh? But even more appalling is the creation and planting of the knife and button. Alright, I didn't even do that. Chotto! So why do you think your client did that?
What do you mean by why?
Well, fiddling around at the scene of the crime is pretty risky. And why would someone who had requested a murder go to the crime scene anyway?
That is true. I assume it was probably done to frame Mr. Ungard.
If that's the case, then why didn't the person just request that you do it?
Sadly, that is not possible.
Huh?
My job is to kill. That is all. And to leave my business card behind, naturally. The business card is so my clients may escape blame. To protect them is my duty. Even if they say it's for revenge, setting someone else up to take your fall.
That act is what I was referring to when I said my client had broken the rules. Chotto! And that's all you have to testify.
Yes. And I pray that I will never be called to the stand again.
Again? As in you plan to continue?
I must, as I have yet to find a person to take my place and become the fourth successor.
Actually, how would you like a new life, Mr. Attorney? Excuse me? No. I'm fine. Really. Stop mean glaring me.
Are you really now?
I wonder what kind of man the judge thinks I am now. What are you going to do now, Phoenix?
All I can do now is expose the lies.
That's true. However, you realize that will be very bad for our client, right?
I'm so confused. But the one thing I know for sure is I can't let this trial end yet. Alright. So we have to fucking present something here. Alright, is it gonna be the tomato, I was gonna say the tomato glass, the wine glass right now? Yeah! Wow, I was right. Iggyati! Thank you so much for taking the time to testify, Mr. DeKiller. What is the meaning of that attitude? When Adrian Andrews entered the victim's room, your client had no idea that Juan Carita had been murdered.
But how? How do you know that?
From this wine glass, Your Honor.
The glass?
Mr. DeKiller's supposed client thought Mr. Carita had only fainted, which is why this glass of tomato juice was poured for the victim.
But isn't that just a part of Adrian Andrews' calculated plan?
That is not possible, Your Honor. This glass bears the fingerprints of that person. Had this been planned, they would never have left their fingerprints behind.
I see your point. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
Strangely enough, I had the same exact thought just now. Witness, how do you explain this strange phenomenon?
Isn't it a waste of time to ask about such a minor detail? It's not a very important point anyway, correct? I'm afraid you're mistaken. If Adrian Andrews really is your client, as you claim, then your client should have had knowledge of Mr. Carita's death. If not, then that can only mean that Adrian Andrews was never your client at all. How strange. Yes?
Why is it that the attorney has yet to raise an objection at this absurd situation?
Phoenix, if the killer figures out what we're up to, we're in real trouble.
Yeah, I know. Iggyati! Mr. Edgeworth, I'm surprised! You know you can't say things like that without any evidence. Ah, sorry.
Well, that was an awfully weak objection for the two of you.
Anyway, I am positive there was a contradiction in that testimony. The prosecution requests further testimony concerning when the request was taken. Very well. Right now I have to buy us more time. While we wait for the items the killer left behind to get here. I just know that the very outcome of this trial lies with those items. Witness testimony, request taken.
This request came to me, about a week ago. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. That is what occurred. I trust my memory, and I believe I've made no mistakes. So you physically met your client, huh? That is correct. Meeting one's client is the first step to building trust, in my opinion. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Alright, pretty easy. This request came to me about a week ago. Chota! 1 week ago? Are you sure?
Yes, I am quite sure. I, of course, had my own preparations, and I was barely able to finish. When you request my services, Mr. Attorney, I hope you will keep that in mind.
Please, stop.
In any case, my client this time had a very specific date and time in mind.
A specific date and time? Oh my god. It was a request for my services on the night of the awards ceremony. Chota! Did you ask why on that specific night?
No. I tried to fulfill all the conditions of my client's request. But as for why, I only had my suspicions.
Your suspicions, huh? So what are these suspicions you had? Why did your client request that night?
I'm sure it was all for the bear.
The bear?
My client spoke of it. I'm sure there will be a bear-shaped figurine in Juan Kurita's room. I would like you to retrieve that item for me.
He must be talking about this bear puzzle.
Inside that figurine was a suicide note. Naturally, the victim brought it with him to his hotel room. He was planning to publicly disclose its contents at the press conference after all. That is correct. And if I had not done the job that night, I would not have known where that bear figurine was.
I see.
Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
Not that I could tell.
What the killer says sounds plausible, but in the end, it's just his conjecture.
No, Your Honor, I don't think it's very important.
Well then, witness, please continue.
We met at a certain bar to discuss and finalize a few matters. Chota! So you physically met Adrian Andrews, right?
Of course I did.
What was that? What was with the brief pause? Witness, I would like for you to give us a few more details.
I always meet my clients as a matter of principle. I have never taken a request by telephone or mail. And why is that? That's because I value the trust between a client and myself above all else. And the only way to establish that is to speak to the client while looking them in the eye. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
I'm gonna actually look. Okay, yeah, it was very important.
Of course, it was very important, Your Honor. If Mr. DeKiller had met his client before the murder, then it's unlikely he's mistaken.
So you're saying that his client really was Adrian Andrews?
I guess so.
You see, it is just as I said.
Gah. I'm so lost. Who the heck am I supposed to be helping here? Calm down, Phoenix. Think carefully and relax.
Now then, would the witness please continue?
That is what occurred. I trust my memory and I believe I've made no mistakes. Wait, what?
Shut up! I have no idea what the hell just happened. I thought that was gonna work.
So your client was Adrian Andrews?
That is correct.
Well, he says the two of them met. But if they did, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with the killer's testimony. Well, there doesn't seem to be anything strange this time around. You have to draw more information from him, but you can't draw his suspicion. If you can do that, you should be able to find a flaw in his testimony somewhere. Talk about a delicate balance. Well, shit.
Alright, so I guess this is important.
I thought it wasn't. That's why I did... Yes.
Sure.
The testimony just now has made one thing clear, and that is... the client knew the secret of the bear figurine. Huh? Why is everyone so quiet?
Mr. Wright, I think all of us already knew that.
Oh. Really? Witness, please continue with your testimony.
Wait, what? Come on! We met... Okay, I'm looking at this fucking walkthrough. What am I doing wrong here? Alright, let me get... Okay. Press this.
So you physically met. Yes. Press further. I don't take requests by phone or email because fuck that. Alright. It was not important. Why he meets his clients is not important, and that wasn't the point. Witness, please stop sidestepping my questions.
What do you mean by that?
My question was, did you really meet Adrian Andrews in person?
I have already told you, Mr. Wright. I did. It was only through talking with him face to face that I began to trust him. That's when I thought, I can trust this person as a client. It's true what they say about talking face to face. Well, Mr. Wright, was the testimony just now of any importance?
Yes. If I heard what I think I heard just now, then I think I've got him. Your Honor, I believe the testimony just now was of the utmost importance.
Huh? Really?
If that's the case, witness, please include the statement just now in your testimony.
Very well.
From the moment I saw him, I thought I can trust this person as a client. Chota! But as we now know, that wasn't how it turned out, correct?
What do you mean?
Adrian Andrews turned out to be a client who couldn't stick to the rules, right?
Well, yes. I suppose you are correct.
So I would like to check one last time. Are you sure your testimony is accurate?
So here's the thing. He's claiming that Adrian is his client. However, why are you using he, him pronouns for a woman? Igiari! I would like to go over this one more time. You met Adrian Andrews at a bar and took the request at that time.
Yes, that is correct.
And that's when you thought he was trustworthy.
How many times must I repeat myself? Yes, that is correct.
I'm sorry, but that's an impossible tale.
What?
Shelley the Killer. You have never met the real Adrian Andrews.
Why would you say that?
Because you made one very big slip-up. About her.
So what is the issue? What did you say just now? About her?
If you had ever met Adrian Andrews in person, one look would have told you that she's a woman.
And I bust apart. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
This witness testified to the following. That he always meets face-to-face with his clients when taking their request.
But he has never met Adrian Andrews in person.
Yes, Your Honor. That is exactly the point. That means Mr. the Killer's client could not have been Miss Adrian Andrews.
God, that does not look right.
Mr. Edgeworth, I understand your logic on this one. However, why would the assassin make such a basic mistake?
I believe it has to do with her name, Your Honor.
Her name?
Yes. Adrian Andrews is, without a doubt, a very androgynous name.
So it's actually kind of funny that it's like, you know, cause look at the way her name is spelled. It's spelled Adrian. And usually that is a very masculine way of the name. That is a very masculine Adrian. You know what I mean? However, if you really wanted to have, oh my god, excuse me. However, there is a feminine way to like spell Adrian, which is Adrienne. Like, here, let me type it out. But yeah, like, that's the feminine way of spelling Adrian. So it is kind of... So I do like that they kept the masculine... So I do kind of like the idea that, like, maybe, like, because of that, like, Adrian is gender non-conforming. Man, a lesbian and not cis? Man, where did we get lucky?
Yes, I see.
Unluckily for Mr. the Killer, the entire time he was on the stand, no one had stated Adrian Andrews' gender. And so he simply picked the wrong gender to go with.
What? What is going on?
Yeah, there's a...
Shelley the Killer! This court demands an explanation!
I think somehow I must have mixed up this client with another. So does that mean you remember something different now?
Yes, of course. Please, if you would allow me to testify once more.
Ah! I know he's just going to spit out more lies.
Very well, but this time, please give us the truth and nothing but the truth.
Witness testimony, request taking part 2. I think the killer should have alternated between genders if he wasn't sure. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, I mean, obviously the easy suggestion would just be to use they. Don't assume the person's gender. But keep in mind that this game was written way back in the early 2000s. And, we're not as, in Japan as well, we were not as progressive back then. Oh my god, I'm so congested. Alright.
Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client. The request was for the murder of Juan Kurita and 2 or 3 other small things. When I saw the name at the end of the letter, I thought my client to be a man.
And again, as I said before, like, Adrian spells her name in the masculine way. So it would be kind of easy to, like, assume that she was a man.
So you took this job through a letter?
I'm dying on this. You're allowed to do that.
He didn't mention anything about a letter in his earlier testimony, which means he's definitely lying. Be careful, Phoenix. If you break the assassin's testimony completely, it's over for us. I know. I can't make him suspicious. But I think we're okay. Like, we can do this. As long as he's...
Wow, look at that shit!
As long as he's standing there across from me. No matter how strong of a punch I throw, he'll counter it.
Wow, that was gay as fuck, Phoenix.
Now then, let's begin the cross-examination.
As long as my lover is standing right there. God, I love this series. Yes, now I remember. I took that request by mail. Chota! But didn't you just say that you always meet with your clients? Oh wait, meet your clients, sorry.
Yes, I suppose I did say that. However, there are some clients for whom a meeting is simply not possible.
But didn't you meet your client this time?
No, I did not.
Oh, come now. Let's stop with this game of cat and mouse.
Using your silkiest voice is not going to work on me. Trying to come on to me is not going to work.
Alright then, just cough it up and confess.
Mr. Wright, you can't badger a witness with such harsh words. You're a lawyer, so behave like one and present evidence instead of mindlessly yelling. Now then, do you have any proof that Mr. DeKiller met with his client?
I'm gonna say no. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I don't have any proof.
I see. Then your line of questioning was just another waste of time. Sadly for us, Your Honor, that is the nature of right and wrong.
Thanks, hun. Love you. There have been times when I took a job without having met my client.
Chotto! And why could you not meet certain clients?
Recently, I've been receiving more requests. If I met each and every client, I would lose some nice business opportunities. Nice business opportunities? On top of which, the times have changed. It is now the age of information and computers, correct? Well, I have joined the times and now take requests via electronic mail. Electronic mail? Do you have to mail that in a special insulated envelope?
It's email, Your Honor!
Ah, I'm very sorry. I despise the shortening of words. What I mean by electronic mail is what is commonly referred to as email. Email?
In a contest of mimicry, the judge would beat a parrot, hands down.
Anyway, so you took this job without having met your client, and...
The thing is, though, is like, what is his email address? thekiller@gmail.com?
The request was for the murder of Juan Kurita and 2 or 3 other small things. Chotto! 2 or 3 other things?
Yes.
And what were these other things?
A few other things that have nothing to do with this case.
What should I do? Should I let him slide with that? It'd be really bad if I pushed his buttons the wrong way and he got mad.
Fuck it.
Whether or not they're related to this case is for the court to decide.
Mr. Attorney.
Yes?
Everything I have said from the beginning has been nothing but beneficial to your client. Which is why I wonder what is pushing you to continue with this cross-examination. Could it be that you are planning to betray your own client?
That's...
I smell the stench of a backstabber.
Uh-oh.
And should you turn out to be one...
Wait! Uh-oh. This is looking really bad. I shouldn't press my luck. Alright, I have to think. Is this worth pursuing? Witness, this is a very important matter. Please cooperate and tell us what these other jobs your client requested were.
If it's truly that important, I suppose I don't have much of a choice. The bear figurine.
The bear figurine?
After the assassination of the target, I was to find that figurine. I was told that this job was just as important as the actual killing.
And where was that figurine?
It was inside Mr. Kurita's suitcase.
And then, what did you do next?
I handed it over to my client right away.
You gave it to your client. Interesting.
This information certainly sounds important to me. Witness, please include what you just stated in your testimony. As you wish.
One of these was to find the bear figurine and to give it to Adrian Andrews. Chotto! I found this figurine at Mr. Ungard's mansion. If you gave it to Miss Andrews, then what was it doing there?
I was waiting for her there. That was also part of the plan to frame Mr. Ungard, I'm sure. That makes a lot of sense. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any problems with this piece of testimony?
No. It's no use. As long as I can't put my finger on the central problem here, pressing this witness anymore would be extremely dangerous.
It appears that Mr. Wright has no problems. Well then, witness, please continue.
Whoops. We've pretty much reached the end of our rope here. Huh? Seems like we're still okay to me. And that's exactly what is so bad. At the rate we're going, we'll end up completely destroying the killer's lie. If we do that, you already know how serious of a situation that will put us in.
Oh yeah.
All I can do now is pray that those items reach us in time.
Iggyati! Shelly the Killer. If you had really given the bear to Miss Andrews, then this item should not have been inside it. Right.
This item. I see where you're going.
Yup, that's where I'm going.
Where is everyone going? Do I need to pack a suitcase?
Shut up, Your Honor! Your Honor, please think back to Miss Andrews' testimony.
And I was going to burn it. For her sake.
If even for a single minute, this bear had actually been in Miss Andrews' hands, I'm sure she would have taken the suicide note out and burned it.
Order! 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 So that's where you two were going. So by the very fact that the suicide note was still inside the bear, it tells us that your client didn't know how to disassemble the puzzle. Which means... It means, Your Honor, that it is impossible for Adrian Andrews to be the client.
And he's fallen apart again.
Order! 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm sure I mentioned this before. How I hate traitors above all else. I think your cross-examination has clearly demonstrated something to me. You must wish to break your end of our agreement.
No! That's not...
That's enough. If that is your intention, then there is only one thing for me to do.
Wait! Please!
Gentlemen, ladies, please excuse me. I have a matter that I must attend to.
Chotomate! No! Please! Not that! Please wait!
Mr. Attorney, bring this trial to a speedy end and I may stay my hand. Otherwise...
Alright. I'm actually gonna save right now. Because we're quickly approaching a break. Poor Phoenix.
What in the... Mr. Wright? Are you...
Yeah, this is tearing him apart. It's like... What do I do? It's like, do I convict him or not? Do I save Maya or not?
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't understand this witness's outburst just now. Do you think there's a need to hear more testimony, or is this enough?
Well, we should...
Edgeworth! We can't do this! If we keep this up, Maya, she'll...
The prosecution...
What has come over everyone? Even you are...
The prosecution... rests.
What is going on around here?
The prosecution has no further questions, Your Honor.
What?
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I never thought I'd see the day. This is a most unusual situation.
Alright, gonna save again.
If the prosecution rests with no further questions, then the prosecution has failed to uphold its stance. If that is the case, then, even though I am reluctant, I must believe that Mr. DeKiller's testimony is accurate. That would mean that Shelley DeKiller's client is... Adrian Andrews. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
If I end the trial here, right now, then your client, Matt Ungard, will be declared innocent. And in his place, Adrian Andrews will be charged with murder.
Miss Andrews would be charged with murder? Wait a minute. Miss Andrews would be charged with murder.
The prosecution has no further questions, so we will now hear the defense's final
Sorry, I keep doing this because I don't know when... Because you can't save at the choice itself, so I have to, like, save a little before that, and I have no idea how long it takes to get there.
Bailiff, please bring the defendant, Matt Ungard, to the stand.
The items from the killer's hideout didn't make it in time. We tried as hard as we could, but it looks like our time has run out. I can't believe it. The outcome now lies in your hands.
Dude, did the old guy finally decide?
To be honest, I can't think of you as a truly innocent and good person. You have done enough evil to drive a woman to suicide. But, at least on the charge of murder, it would appear you're innocent.
Ha! And now he reveals his true self.
So, I guess even the old fuddy-duddy figured me out.
Mr. Ungard?
What an atrocious lawyer I have, giving his own client up like this. And that refreshing like a spring breeze crap, it's just as atrocious, don't you agree? Anyway, get on with it and pronounce me innocent already. Right, Mr. Lawyer?
Man, Matt really is just pushing his buttons.
Should I side with justice? Or should I save Maya's life?
You better get on guard a guilty sentence, okay?
But if I did that, Maya will die. But if I say he's innocent, then Miss Andrews will be charged as the murderer. Do I say he's guilty or not guilty? Either choice I make Someone's life is going to end! It all hinges on what I choose.
Now then, Mr. Wright. Let's hear the defense's final statements on this matter. If the person who hired the assassin was Adrian Andrews, then your client, Mr. Matt Ungard, is innocent.
There's no need to ask, old man. After all, my lawyer's going to say what I want. Aren't you?
Right.
I can't do this! But I have to decide something. I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. My client, Matt Ungard, is guilty or not guilty?
And with that, we are going to take our break. And do not worry, I did save right before this, so we do not need to redo all that. Alright. I am actually... Alright. Let's see, can I find that video? Because I want to listen to it to see, like, what that sounds like. Because this fits so well. Where are you? Where are you? The fuck is it? There it is. Alright, I'm gonna cut the desktop audio for a moment. All right, have a good rest of your night, Plush. I know you can't hear this right now. I'm just listening to it for myself. Just to make sure, like... Alright, I think it's alright. I knew I wanted to listen to this fucking version. So yeah, this is the, So this is Megalovania in the style of Persona 5. Anyway, we are taking our break here. But don't worry, we only have a little bit of the game left over and then we'll be done. So I figured it would be a good idea to just like end the game there instead of instead of, to end the game there, sorry, to take a break there, just to make the choice even more haunting when we go back into it. And how fitting that we were playing this song. Anyway, get something to eat, get something to drink, go to the bathroom, and we will go back into the game as soon as possible. Thankfully, I don't need to get up. Well, maybe I do. Yeah, I probably should. Alright, I'm gonna go get a drink real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Admittedly, I am not in the mood to eat. So no snacks this time? Oh, fuck. And now I'm just checking over stuff, making sure. Making sure I'm not missing anything, like, exciting. Oh, why is he trending? Oh my god, I'm so sick. Okay. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm sniffling so much. just have some real... I wish I wasn't congested, man. What the fuck? Stop! Fucking hell. I do one thing and everything just goes to shit. This is such a chill version of Megalovania. Ba-ba, ba-ba-ba. Alright, sorry about that. I just fucking went silent. Again, as I said before, we only have a little bit of the game left to go, and then we're gonna be done, which is good, because this congestion is doing me in. Seriously, like, a couple days ago it wasn't this bad. But at the very least, I sound better today than I did yesterday. Like, you could tell yesterday I was just stuffed the fuck up. Whereas today it's like, okay, I'm getting a little bit clearer. A little bit. Not a lot. But still something. But, as I mentioned in the beginning, I got to play more D&D this Friday. Like, when I announced on Twitter that I wasn't gonna be able to stream that day, like, my friend, Gary was like, "Oof, are you gonna be okay?" Because I basically, when I said it, I didn't go into detail, but, I basically just said, like, you know, today was fucking rough. And Gary was like, "Oof, are you okay? You're gonna be up for D&D tonight." And I was like, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better than I did this morning. So I'm gonna be fine. They were like, "Okay, just take it easy." And I was like, I plan on it, trust me. So it's like at 3:30 in the morning, we got started. I was able to deliver my apology, and they took it really good. They took it really well. Thank God. And we as the group just kind of like had a nice little like talk about just like about stuff in general, like about the whole thing, and how like, you know, it was more just, you know, how like it was just a risk, it was just like miscommunication, and not wanting to, how do I put this? And people not wanting to make a big fuss out of it. And basically like how, I kind of like think this is a thing too that's like, we're getting this out of the way now in the beginning because, we're kind of composed of people that like don't really I don't want to say know each other that well, but it's like, I only know my friend Gary from that group. They only know a few people from that group. Like, basically, like, there's not a single person in that group that knows everyone, Like, for a lot of us, we're practical strangers. And so because of that, like, we're kind of like trying to figure out like what the dynamic is, I guess. Like what, in terms of both characters and players and all that. And, and it's a good thing that we're getting, like, these problems out of the way now instead of later, because it's like, these are little bumps that are necessary to go over so that we could better come together as actual players and all that. So that was, so yeah, we had a nice little discussion. And then we got started. I finally got to have my first round of combat. It was surprisingly easy, considering it was against a Mind Flayer of all things. I'm assuming the Mind Flayer was deliberately, like, made weaker. Because there's no fucking way we beat, like an actual Mind Flayer at our level. It was so funny, though, because, like, because it's like, my character of Larkspur was not built for fighting, or at the very least, the layout for them was not good for combat. Meaning, I did not have many offensive spells. So I had to basically work with the passive spells I had, and my staff. But, but for the most part, like, the but at the very least, like, 3 out of our 5-character ensemble, was able to hit the fucking thing. Like, but, it was actually kind of funny. Because, there was a point in the round when the Mind Flayer was, like, close to death, and I didn't really know what else to do, so I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking, like, I'm gonna have a little bit of fun and just, like, hit him with my staff. So I did that, and I almost got a nat 20! I almost got a critical hit! It's like, holy shit! I mean, I only hit the fucker for like 6 damage, but it's like, me, the DM, and Gary were just fucking laughing, because it's like, what the fuck? Because basically, it was just like me bonking a Mind Flayer in the head with a stick. And it actually, like, and the way that it was described, it was just like, it was just like a squishy part of the skull just indents and then just slowly rises back up. It's like, oh. I just fucking bonked the motherfucker. Oh my god. It was just, like, it was pretty funny. But, so we did a little bit of combat, and surprisingly enough, we didn't get damaged at all. Like, the Mind Flayer did try to attack 2 people, but unfortunately missed the first attack, and then the second attack just failed because player T was too good. So unfortunately, the poor thing just did not get a hit off at all. It was a baby back bitch. Oh my god. You know, speaking of Player T, I fucking love her character. I feel like I spent like half of Friday night just fucking laughing. Partly because of her fucking antics, because it's like, Player T's character, like, is in need of money, and it's like, the second half of the session was pretty much just like, I need to get paid. Like, and there was like one moment where one moment in particular towards the end where, an NPC that we were talking to, like, we showed him this device that we, looted off of the dead Mind Flayer. We were like, hey, can you figure out what this is? Have you ever seen something like this? And the device does something to people who fail an intelligence saving throw. And the NPC, first off, is a fucking wizard. And failed the int save. So it's like, what the fuck? So that sucked. So he gets dazed temporarily. And Player T's character is like, does he have any money? And we all just burst out laughing because it's just like, what, we're gonna loot his body while he's still alive? Oh my god. I mean, granted, she did go on to say, I was just kidding, but I was still just laughing because it's like, oh my god. And then, like, earlier, when we were fighting the Mind Flayer, a poor, unfortunate Tabaxi got caught up in the fight. He didn't get hurt, by the way. But, like, he had temporarily gone mad, and Player T was opting to kill him, but, me and, Chatter, who is Gary's character, you know, stepped in and were like, no, don't do that, and we were able to stop her from doing that. And then, like, later on, as we're getting ready to go out, like, Player T just fucking comes up to the Tabaxi and the Tabaxi just invites us to a birthday party, because why the fuck not? And Player T just puts a hand, I think if I remember right, puts a hand on his shoulder and is like, I was going to kill you, but now you're my friend. And it was just like, so blunt. It was something like that. It's just like, I fucking love that, I fucking love that character just because of just how blunt she can be. It's like, oh my, like, again, I probably spent half of that session just fucking laughing, partly because of just how, like, partly because of, like, Player T's character. It was just funny as shit. But yeah, we ended off on a cliffhanger last time. Mainly in that, like, we found out a secret, and it's like, damn it, man. Oh man. But yeah, I had a great time this last session. I can't wait to get back into it this weekend. I just hope my congestion will have cleared up, will have either cleared up all the way at that point, or mostly cleared up, because god, it would fucking suck if I have to, like, roleplay as Larkspur while stuffed up. The only thing is that it's like, of course, this is gonna be right after the stream of the letter. But thankfully, the letter does have voice acting, so I'm probably not going to be talking too much. But regardless. God, I love it when I get fucking, like... Fucking hell. I love it when I get recommendations from a YouTuber I fucking hate. It's like, I don't want to see their videos on my stream at all. Anyway. How long have we been going on break for? I don't think it's been that long. I don't think it's been that long, because I think it's been like close to a half hour, which is fair. That's fine. I think the reason why it usually takes so long is because, like, it takes me long. Is like usually if I'm eating something, it takes me longer to talk. But because of you know, because of the congestion, it's kind of making me. It's kind of like decreased my appetite a little bit. So it's like can't really do anything. Like, it fucking sucks, too, because it's like, it's not so much I've lost my sense of smell or taste, it's still there, but it's like, my sense of smell is severely hampered. Like, seriously, I hate being congested so much. It makes sleeping so much harder. Because it's like, I like to breathe through my nose, right? And because I am and the thing is, though, is I would usually wait for one nostril to clear, but then my brain goes into panic mode, because I'm like, I can't, because I'm thinking to myself, like, oh fuck, I can't get enough oxygen in my lungs, so then I have to resort to mouth breathing. But the problem is that, like, when you mouth breathe during your sleep, like, it leaves your mouth, your lips, and your throat all fucking dry, and I hate that feeling. So I have to occasionally, like, you know, wet my mouth so it's not dry, but that wakes me up, and it just messes up my whole rhythm. So sleeping has been really hard the last couple nights because I can't breathe. Oh my god, you know, so yeah, I'm not really, so I haven't slept well. God damn it, Eric. You and your mom, okay, I'm actually proud of you. You're actually playing something that's not Final Fantasy XIV for once. I don't even know if he's still listening to the stream. Probably is, usually just like, he usually has my streams on in the background, and while lurking. But yeah, I'm a little tired too. I did not get much sleep. Seriously, I go to bed down at like 5:30. I don't get to sleep till after 8. because the next 3 hours are just spent trying to sleep but not being able to. Alright. Alright, I just want to check a couple more things before we get back into it. I love this song. I do like Megalovania. Even if I don't necessarily think it's my most, even if I don't necessarily, like, you know, think of it as my favorite. Anyway, let me just retweet the stream and then we'll get back into it. Alright. Say goodbye to Megalovania. Now we move on. Wait. There we go. Da 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 da. Boy, I can't wait to get back into the letter. Let's see how we can fuck up characters' lives in that this time around. Good. I've been taking medicine and it just doesn't feel like it. God. Come on. If there is one thing I hate about this congestion chew, it's really ruined my fucking singing. It's like it's forcing my voice to have to go lower on songs that are already pretty low. And it's like, no, I don't need to go low, I need to go up. But I can't breathe. Alright. Ba-da-da-da. Alright. Alright. Had to skip through a little bit of that. Alright, so before I make my choice here, there is something I want to say. There are multiple endings in this case. However, you do not get to choose what ending you get here. I'm just gonna say that right now. I might need to move the window. There we go. So, I don't know what choice I'm gonna pick. However, I did read up on the anime recently to see, like, what did the anime choose to do? And the funny thing is that, because obviously if we went with guilty, it would kill Maya, but it would put On Guard away for life. However, if we went with not guilty, yeah, it would let Maya be free, but it would also let an innocent woman go to jail and possibly be executed. So in the anime, Phoenix is despairing, of course. But he gathers his resolve. And it's heavily implied that he decides to go for guilty.
We're waiting for your answer, Mr. Wright. Matt on guard, your client deserves an answer.
Am I gonna sneeze this time? Can I sneeze?
Maya, I'm sorry. Matt on guard is... Igari! There she is! Franziska von Karma!
Grand revival.
What are you doing here? Oh!
You see now, don't you, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
How am I gonna do her voice with this?
This is exactly why you should never take your eyes off of that scruffy fool.
Did you bring them? The final pieces. Do you have them?
You should know better than to ask that, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. A Von Karma is perfect in every way. The evidence is here in perfect condition. Don't worry about Scruffy. He's fine and his injuries are minor. All of the items are inside this.
What a filthy old coat this is.
That's gumshoes. I could spot his tattered rags anywhere. I apologize for its ugliness, but there was nothing else to wrap the items in.
Oh, fuck, that hurt.
I fought long and hard this whole trial, all for what is inside that raggedy coat. I'm sure that inside that coat lies a crucial piece of evidence. Your Honor, inside that filthy coat are the defense's final pieces of evidence.
Your final evidence?
By the way, Phoenix going Maya, I'm sorry. He would have said that no matter which choice you picked. You know, it's like, obviously with the guilty, it's like, you know, obviously these, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm sorry that I'm letting you die. Whereas for the not guilty, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm letting you down.
This trial's already over. All that remains is for me to hand down my verdict. I do not believe that any evidence presented now would change the outcome of this trial.
What?
Iggyani.
Your Honor, it is our duty to examine every piece of evidence, down to the last. I request that Miss Von Karma be allowed to present these pieces of evidence.
I suppose you're right, Mr. Edgeworth. I grant permission to do so. However, this one obvious rule applies here. If these items do not bring up any new points, then they will not be accepted by this court. Now, Miss Von Karma, if you please.
These pieces of evidence are items left by the killer during his escape from the police.
He must have been in quite a rush.
Yes, Your Honor. The killer left 3 pieces of evidence. Somewhere among the evidence we're about to see, there will be something that will turn this whole situation around. Like a miracle. I'm sure of it. That's all we can hope for.
Can I please breathe?
The first item is a pistol. Does the killer's pistol have anything to do with this case?
I don't think so. I mean, I know what's gonna happen, I just don't know if that's right. Okay. Just making sure.
Does that pistol have any relation to this case? Okay, wait a minute.
Come on, Airi.
We have yet to perform a ballistics test, so I can't say anything for certain. However, I believe it has something to do with this case. At least, with me.
Yeah, because it probably shot you. Huh?
That's the pistol that he used to shoot you, isn't it? That's what I believe, yes.
Oh.
I kept the bullet they removed from my shoulder as a sort of memento. I'm sure it will be an excellent sample for the test.
Good.
So that's the pistol that was used to shoot Franziska. It's probably not going to help us very much. The second piece of evidence is his videotape. I bet the killer took that from Unguard Mansion. Have you checked the contents of that tape? Unfortunately, there was no time to.
Oh yeah.
But I would speculate that this tape is very important.
Why would you say that?
Because he came back to his hideout for it. The killer went back for it? That's right. It looks like he was trying to recover it. He injures 3 of the officers at the site. But somehow, it looks like they managed to protect it from the killer. Shelly the killer is no ordinary man. The last piece of evidence is this bellboy's uniform. Is that a uniform from the Gatewater Hotel? Was that used during the crime? I am almost certain it was. There's even a pair of black leather gloves in one of their pockets. There's no doubt about it. The killer was wearing this on the night of the murder. There is one thing I found interesting about this uniform.
What is that?
There is a button missing on this uniform.
A button?
It's a very unique button. I'm sure if we were to recover it, it would provide us with an interesting clue. That is all I have to present, Your Honor.
It's just as I thought.
And what is that, Your Honor?
I'm sure, were we under normal circumstances, these items from Shelly the Killer's hideout would be very important clues. However, our question is not who did the killing.
It is, who is the client?
Yes, that's correct. And these 3 items do not tell us anything about that. Thank you for your hard work, Miss Von Karma. You may step down now.
Shut the... Wait, Your Honor! Please allow me to examine this new evidence.
Overruled. This court already has all the evidence it needs to hand down a verdict.
Wonderful. Absolutely splendid. This judge is such a brilliant man, isn't he? Is this the end? Phoenix. I knew it. There's no such thing as a miracle in this world, is there? I think you're wrong. I think they do exist. But you have to make that miracle happen. You've come this far. You can't give up now. But, no matter how you think about it, it's... Try. For my sake. Just think about it for a second. There are 2 ways out of this situation for us.
2?
The first... Make Ungard wish from the bottom of his soul for a guilty verdict.
Huh?
The killer will always place his client's wishes first. If Ungard himself wishes to be convicted, then he will let his hostage go.
That may be true, but... That's asking me to do the impossible.
The second way... Force the killer to end his contract with Ungard. If the killer were to no longer think of Ungard as his client, then he would let Maya go.
Mia! That's even more impossible! He's a man who values his duty towards his clients above all else.
I know both of these seem like impossible feats at first, but if you could make either one happen, it would truly be a miracle.
The bigger problem is, the judge has already said he doesn't need any more evidence. The pieces he was just shown, he's not accepting them.
Phoenix, think things through from the other side. Isn't that what has always worked for us?
The other side? Wait, does she mean... You mean... to turn things around?
Phoenix, the judge says he doesn't need the evidence. If that's the case, then who does need it? The person who needs the evidence. The defense, prosecution, and the judge, we have seen all the pieces of evidence. And that is how we have come to know the truth. But there's one person who has yet to see them all, and that person does not know the truth. That truth, it may be what will bring about the miracle in the end.
There are no objections this time, correct? Now then, I will pronounce my verdict.
Why don't we all respectfully sit back and listen, kids? Iggyari!
I have already told you, Mr. Wright, this court does not need any more evidence.
I'm not saying it is us that needs the evidence, Your Honor.
Then, you want to show the evidence to that person?
You bet your ass! Yes, Your Honor. Please, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, for you to ask with such passion, I will grant you one chance.
One chance.
Please show your evidence to who you think is the right person. Iggyari.
That's impossible. To turn the situation around in one try.
One try. That is all I will permit.
I have to try to remember. Everything that has happened up to this point. Think, Phoenix. Think! There must be a way to save Maya while taking Ungar down at the same time.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's not waste any more time. Who would you like to show evidence to?
Okay. Could I?
I see. And now, tell this court what one piece of evidence you would like to show this person.
Could I?
So here's the thing. Matt told us in the detention center when he revealed his true colors that he had insurance against Shelly the Killer, intending to blackmail him with it in case it ever came to be. And obviously, we know that the stuffed bear here had a spy camera and a transmitter. The spy camera was set to record the Juan Carita's room from 8 p.m. for 1 hour, and it was confirmed that it was running at the time of the murder. And the transmitter says that it changes the footage taken by the spy camera into radio wave and transmits the data. And we saw an antenna in Matt's mansion. So quite clearly, we can conclude that this videotape here is pretty much the killer murdering Juan. And Matt tried to have that as insurance.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think there is some merit in showing this evidence to that witness.
Bailiff! Please bring in the transceiver from earlier.
All right. It looks like I managed to convince him. Maya, she's okay, right?
Didn't I tell you to concern yourself with bringing about a speedy end to this trial? Now, if I understand correctly, you wish to show me one piece of evidence.
Yes.
One is all I need. I have here a videotape It was found at your hideout. I heard you injured 3 officers in your attempt to get this back.
That was most regrettable. However, it was an order from my clients. I was told to protect that videotape.
I thought so.
I'm afraid I seem to have failed in that regard.
Do you know the contents of this tape?
I was sternly told by my client to not watch it. So I have absolutely no idea.
So yeah, Matt told him to protect that tape, but to not watch it. So he has absolutely no idea that he was being spied on. Actually, you are on this tape.
Me?
There was a video camera hidden at the crime scene. Your actions were being recorded. What?
Is that true? Mr. Wright! Who was it that planted a camera?
Well, the only person who could have placed a camera at the scene of the crime would be your client, naturally.
That was Adrian Andrews.
Be quiet and listen, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Your client specified a place and time for you, isn't that right?
Yes.
That was so they could film you.
I had no idea. Mr. Wright, why would my client do such a thing? I would like to know why.
Why did Matt on guard film the crime scene? The reason why he did that is my ticket out of this whole mess. There is only one reason why your client would secretly film the crime scene. They wanted blackmail on you. Your client once told me something very interesting. We were talking about you, and this is what they said. But I'm no weakling. I don't believe anyone. Least of all assassins. Oh, come now, Mr. Wright. Assassins aren't above blackmail. Yes, that's where the video comes in. With that, I could keep him at bay, and even blackmail him if I want. Your client didn't trust you at all. They were thinking of using this video to blackmail you. What do you have to say to that, Shelly the Killer? And remember, he places trust above everything else. Between his clients and himself.
It looks like I was being deceived from the very beginning.
Yes. By a natural. That is the kind of person they are. Your client is a person who only thinks and plots of how to use the people around them to protect themselves from any and all dangers that may arise. That is the true nature of your client.
I have one question for the witness. Yes. You told us one thing numerous times during your testimony. You said that you detest traitors most of all. Yes, that's right. But what if that traitor was your own client? What would you do then? That's obvious. I would break our contract in that case. And then, that client would become my next target. For the honor of the Killer name, even if it takes an eternity, I would follow that person to the ends of the earth to exact my punishment. To set an example. I see. That's all I wanted to know.
So the traitor becomes the killer's next target. Ah, I get it! This is how we'll turn this case around!
Mr. Wright.
Yes?
My contract with my client is over as of now. I seem to have a new job on my hands. I will now return to you your precious item.
What the? I'm not an item!
Maya, I thought I'd never see you again. Oh, thank God! Oh, thank you, God!
This trial appears to have come to its conclusion. However, I'm sort of... I don't quite know what just happened with all these... Ah! Miss Von Karma! Where did that... She always has you in her sights. Now, I do believe it's time to finally hand down a verdict.
Oh, would you look at that? Karma's a bitch, ain't it? Mr. On Guard. It looks like somehow you got what you wanted. You'll finally receive the acquittal you wanted so badly. You should be happy.
But before that, I would like to make one final statement. Sometime in the near future, one very betrayed assassin may appear before you. Needless to say, that man is very good at what he does. I've seen the pictures. I'm sure you would understand what I mean if you watch this video.
Help me.
Now then, Your Honor, the verdict if you please.
Is this alright with you, Mr. Wright?
We have finally reached the end of a very long battle. Whether he's convicted or acquitted, there is no escape for him now. Go on, Phoenix. Plead whichever way your heart tells you. Right, Chief. So, how do we want to plead, guys? I mean, he did put us through hell, but we did fight oh so very hard to get the acquittal. I think it's only fair that we get him the acquittal. I mean, after all, it's what he wanted for so long, right? Here you go, Mr. On Guard. Congratulations, Mr. Matt On Guard. I feel the sneeze and I can't... Please make sure to savor every moment of what little time you have left. Your Honor, as always, the defense pleads not guilty.
Have a taste of that, you cunt!
Very well. This court finds the defendant Matt on guard.
Chata! Please wait!
What's the matter?
If I get a not guilty, I'll be killed.
Huh?
I'm guilty. So yeah, he just scratches his whole face up.
As always, it looks like we have uncovered the real truth.
We? I don't remember you helping out much in this.
Mr. Edgeworth, how is Matt on guard?
I have left Miss Von Karma in charge of his incarceration. I'm sure he's getting a full course meal of whip leather right about now.
Good.
Very good.
I hope she's doing it on his face where it just makes the scratches irritated oh so much.
That was a close one, wasn't it, witness?
Yes. I plan to pay my debt to society for my own crime, Your Honor.
And you've just been put through the ringer, my girl.
The first time I was called to the witness stand during this trial, all I felt was despair.
She must be talking about the time Edgeworth really went after her. I guess she's trying to forgive him for what he did. Listen, she ain't allowed to do that.
This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me.
Oh my god.
But after that, when I was alone at the detention center, that's the first time I really saw myself for who I am. And today, when the two of you used your combined strength to convict Matt, I felt like I had finally been saved.
Aw, look at that smile of hers.
Wow, this is the first time I've ever seen her smile. I am really happy that you two were in charge of this case. I really don't know how to express how I feel at this moment. This is the first time I felt comfortable with myself. With who I am. Thank you so much, everyone!
You'll be out soon, Adrian, right?
It looks like we have resolved everything at last. As for myself, there are still a few things I'm confused about. But everyone seems to be in good spirits. And that's good enough for me. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Fuck yeah! March 23rd, 5:14 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3.
You were great out there, Phoenix.
What I did out there was right, wasn't it?
This is the first time you've not gotten your client off. You got them a guilty verdict this time.
That's fair.
But you have to look past all of that to what's really important. You now realize that there is something more than just getting a not guilty, right?
Yes, I understand now.
Phoenix, think back for a second. Think to the moments before Miss Von Karma arrived with the final pieces of evidence. Think about the incredible decision you had to make.
Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear the defense's final statement on this matter.
I can't count on the evidence to help me anymore. I have to listen to my heart. Should I side with justice, or should I save Maya's life? My client, Matt on guard, is... Is he guilty, or is he not guilty? Those were your choices then. And your answer spoke to what being a lawyer means to you.
Right. Edgeworth! I have good news. Maya's now safe in police custody.
Really?
Pearls!
You're telling us the truth, right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, she's quite safe. She's on her way here as we speak in a patrol car.
Ah! Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya's safe! You did it! You really did it, Mr. Nick!
Ow! She punches deceptively hard for a kid.
I believed in you. I kept saying to myself, Mr. Nick will save her. Mr. Nick will save her.
Thanks.
Oh,
What's wrong?
Miss Von Karma.
Hey. About earlier. Thanks. Ow! Why are you still smiling, Mr. Phoenix Wright? You lost! Your perfect win record has now been crushed! And yet, you're still happy! Well, we're just now entering the ending of this game, so welcome back! I don't think you'll ever understand, Miss Von Karma. How dare you! Don't worry. She may in time. After all, I was like that myself until a year ago. Edgeworth? For my own personal victories, and for guilty verdicts. I used every dirty trick in the book, and so my win record remained spotless. But a man appeared and stood fast against that selfish me. I fought him in my usual manner, and tasted my first defeat. I felt like I had lost everything because of that. And then, it was my turn to sit in the defendant's chair. And I was saved by that person I called my enemy. I couldn't forgive myself for all that had happened. So I left the prosecutor's office. And I left that note. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. As well you should have. A prosecutor who has shamed himself with defeat should crawl into a hole and die. But that wasn't what happened. After I left the prosecutor's office, I finally came to realize something. And it was in that moment of clarity that everything began to change. What foolish nonsense! We prosecutors use anything we can to attack the defendant. But every time we did so...
Igiari!
No matter how desperate the situation, instead of giving up like most people, that man would hold strong with his undying faith. And then, before I knew it, I began to trust in that man as well.
What? You trusted your enemy?
It doesn't matter how many underhanded tricks a person uses, the truth will always find a way to make itself known. The only thing we can do is to fight with the knowledge we hold and everything we have, erasing the paradoxes one by one. It's never easy. We claw and scratch for every inch. But we will always eventually reach that one single truth. This, I promise you.
Nah, he trusted his boyfriend. Yeah, he did. Well, to be fair, this is when they're not together. This is when they're not together because of everything that happened. But I imagine that after this case, they have, a nice little talk, and then they decide to get back together.
The truth.
Yes. That's the reason why prosecutors and defense attorneys exist. But I'm sure you knew that already, didn't you, Wright? That's why you couldn't forgive me. This man who went into hiding. Isn't that right? This man who only had his sights set on victory, who ran away into the night.
Ah! Is Mr. Edgeworth right, Mr. Nick?
You really let me down. When you disappeared, I felt betrayed. The reason I decided to become a lawyer to begin with was because I believed in the things you said to me. All those years ago. Because I loved you. And you betrayed your own words. That's why, 1 year ago, I made up my mind. I decided that the Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. At least, that's what I told myself.
The Miles Edgeworth I knew had died. The Miles Edgeworth I loved had died. You pathetic fool!
Miss Von Karma!
I don't want to hear the wretched whimpering of a disgraced loser! A Von Karma is someone who's destined to be perfect! Miles Edgeworth, you are no longer worthy! You are no longer worthy of being a Von Karma! And neither am I! It's over. It's all over!
Franziska threw something on the ground just now. This is an electromagnetic receiver.
Isn't that the thing she used to track Detective Gumshoe?
I'll return this to the precinct later. There's something else.
Ah! Isn't that Miss Von Karma's whip?
I'll never set foot in another courtroom again. I'm sure that's what she's saying by this action. You should keep this, right?
Okay.
Nick!
Maya! Maya!
Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya!
look at this. We have been reunited once more. Oh boy, that whip's confused. No!
Oh, Nick, I knew you would come through. You got on guard convicted like I knew you would. And on top of that, you even rescued me.
Well, of course I did. You know I would never desert you. But we sure pressed our luck this trial. You're really lucky to be standing here.
Whatever. Look, it's over, okay? Besides, if I did croak, I would just come back and haunt you like a bad ghost through Pearly.
Is it really that easy to do something like that?
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Don't mention it. Oh my god. I just saved you from dying! We should be more emotional about this. Maya.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth!
I'm relieved you're alright.
Hey! It looks like you've made some real progress, Mr. Edgeworth!
Well, I suppose I'm a little different from who I was a year ago.
Heh.
I actually really like that. Because remember in the last game, like, Edgeworth was so socially awkward that he couldn't even do small talk and all that. I mean, granted, he's still not able to do small talk. But the fact that, like, you know, he's actually trying to, like, be a little more proactive in these kinds of situations, and that Maya noticed it, it's like, aw, that's sweet. And keep in mind, this will probably be Maya's first time seeing Edgeworth in a year.
All right! I think it's time we got out of this depressing place.
Huh? Where are we going?
Food, Nick! Food! Grub! Chow! I'm starving! I'm so hungry, even you look like a nice juicy burger on a bun to me, Nick!
You think I look like a burger? I'm a prime rib at least.
Come with us, Mr. Edgeworth! Please?
If you insist. Come on, Edgeworth. Celebrate with us. It is partly because of you we got Maya back safe and sound. Alright. So how about we hit up our usual burger joint?
Don't be silly, Nick!
Huh?
This case messed up that awesome evening and got in the way of my gourmet food. So I've decided that we have to make it up by having another feast.
Another feast?
Come on, Nick! Food!
Well, let's go, Edgeworth. Alright. Back at the hotel! 7:38 p.m. Gumshoe! Hey, pal. Sorry to keep you guys waiting. Gumshoe, are you alright? Yeah, but I'm really embarrassed. I didn't think I would hit a telephone pole of all things. A telephone pole? Then it wasn't a red light that got him? You did it again, city boy! I felt like my dear old heart was gonna give out on me, and I ain't joking!
Yeah, it was more exciting than the very last episode of the Steel Samurai.
Thanks. Now looky here, Mr. Snooty Prosecutor, don't you reckon you bullied Mr. Wright too hard? If you don't start being a lot nicer to him, he might just kick it. Tonight even. Lana, he's already gonna have me for the rest of the night, alright? I'll keep that in mind. He's already, like, seriously, we are going to occupy ourselves all night long. Well, come on now, everyone gather round. Y'all are gonna get your picture taken by a genuine professional photographer. Looks like Lana bought herself a new camera.
Well, pal, at least we can put this messy case behind us now. Come on! Tonight's all about eating, so let's go chow down, pal!
Amen to that, pal! Amen!
You know, when you think about it, you were the one who saved the day, Detective.
Huh? Me? You really think so? You really think so?
He's right. If it wasn't for the 3 items you took, I think this trial would have had a very different ending.
Ah, well, you know, it's... Huh? Wait. That's odd. When I ran off with the things from the killer's hideout, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir.
What? 4?
Yeah, I'm sure I put one of the items in my coat pocket. There was a 4th item? Ah, come on, y'all, it's over! But woo boy, I tell ya, you really are something else! Between getting accused of murder and getting kidnapped, never a dull moment with you, huh? Heh, you think? Why does she look so happy about that?
But,
Excuse me.
but being shut away for 2 whole days, weren't you scared? Yeah, it was really scary. I felt so hopeless. So to keep my mind off of things, I drew a picture.
Sounds like you had a rough gal. So where's this picture of yours?
Yeah, I want to see it. I want to see Mystic Maya's picture. You know, I don't know where it went. Aw, that's too bad. Well, it's alright. It wasn't anything important anyway.
It sure is nice to finally see them both smiling again. Hello?
What is it, Edgeworth? This thing is picking something up.
Ah! That's Miss Von Kama's receiver! Oh, thanks to her, I had the most awful experience of my life, sir. I can't believe she stuck a tracking device on me.
That's odd. Even though you're standing right here, the tracking device seems to be in a different location.
Oh, it's probably busted or something, sir.
Well, it doesn't matter. I'm afraid it's about time for me to excuse myself. I still have some work to do.
Huh? But Mr. Edgeworth, you haven't even eaten anything yet.
And you've eaten way too much, you glutton!
I had fun tonight. Now, if you'll excuse me, Wright, I'll see you later. I'll see you later tonight.
Wait!
What?
I just want to say... thanks, Edgeworth. You really saved me out there.
If anyone should be saying thanks, it should be me, right?
I feel like words alone aren't enough here. I wonder if there's anything I can give him to express how I feel. Remember how you said the whip was gonna be used later? Okay, Edgeworth. We're still gonna have a talk. But I want you to know that by presenting this to you, I still love you.
What's this?
Thank you. It's all thanks to you two. You and her.
You don't need to thank me. I was only doing my job.
And I love you too.
It looks like Mr. Edgeworth has left, Mr. Nick.
That's the first time he's ever said I love you to me. I'm happy.
Hey, Mystic Maya?
Hmm?
Yes, Pearly? I guess you two can go back to being lovey-dovey, right?
Oh, man.
You and Mr. Nick, I mean.
Maya's like, Pearly, did you not hear the two of them just now?
Pearly? Would you cut it out already? You're embarrassing me! Besides, he's not into me like that!
Anyway, so who's paying for this lovely dinner party?
As if you need to ask. Everyone say thank you to Nick!
Huh? Yeah. I'm kinda at the point where I can't even buy instant noodles, pal. So I kinda already put your name on the bill. Huh? Yeah, I got me a situation just like that myself. There's this camera shop in this hotel, see? And I just bought myself this good old beauty here. It better be anyhow for $3,000. What? Actually, I reckon you bought it for me since it's on your tab and all. What? Excuse me, what?
Isn't this great, Mr. Nick? Yeah, Nick!
Just, right, Phoenix is just like, I get to look forward to a night spent with my lover, who finally says I love you to me, and you guys had to fucking ruin it. I refuse to let you fuckers ruin that for me. Why do I suddenly feel like screaming? Aw, you don't need to hold back now, you hear? Yeah, pal. Time to let it all out.
This is going to be the first time I hear the real you! Go on! It's been a while since I heard you say it. I've been busy being a hostage and all.
Alright then. If you say so. Iggy! Welcome to the credits!
You really came through for me, Nick. I had to hide that letter, but I knew you'd find it. I really feel like I've been living on the edge lately. I mean, I've escaped death 3 times now. Pretty cool, huh? I feel like a pro.
We shouldn't be escaping death that much, Maya. Tatsuro Iwamoto, designer and artist. God, I wish I had a better computer so we could get through these credits faster.
I'm so happy that you could save Mystic Maya, Mr. Nick. And I'm so happy for the 2 of you. Speaking of which, I think this hotel is a popular place for honeymooners. So I sort of made reservations for the 2 of you, just in case.
Guess I know where me and Edgeworth are gonna go for the night. We're gonna make love in that really good bed. Listen, we gotta use the room somehow. Well, pal, it looks like I'm back on the force again. Mr. Edgeworth had a long talk with the chief,
And he got me reinstated for my sake. I heard he said things like, letting that one go is bad for all of society.
Wow, that's fucked.
I knew it! Crashing headlong into everything is the only way to live, pal.
But please don't make a habit of it. We love you.
Maggie! I don't remember her voice. I, Maggie Bird, am retiring this uniform as of today, sir. I'm going to be a waitress from now on.
They better give Gumshoe a raise. Ugh.
And bring smiles and joy to the people who come by the restaurant, sir. I hope you'll stop by sometime, Mr. Wright.
Oh, crap.
Yes. Are you here to visit a patient? I'm Director Hottie. Ho ho. Recently, yes. That girl, you know. I haven't seen her around. Yes. But I remember, if I even laid so much as an eye on her, it would go crack. It didn't matter if I got whipped, though. Yes. Ho ho.
Dude, this guy needs to be shot. Oh boy, alright. It's time to begin our quest of world circus domination, sweetie! And to let the world know we are serious, I plan to make a fabulous flight to Zimbabwe!
Hey, Max! What do you think Zimbabwe is like? Do you think there are castles made of cake? And bunnies who can talk?
What the fuck? I think if there are any talking bunnies, even they won't laugh at Moe's jokes. Even they won't laugh at Moe's jokes. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Alright. I'm ready! I'm ready! Wait a minute. There's no way these jokes are gonna fall on deaf ears! I'm going to be more contemporary with my humor. Mo Curls represent... What was that? Oh, fuck me.
We've got our new act all worked out. Prepare for the Hallelujah Chorus. Say something, will you? You're supposed to start this off. Get on with it.
Oh, thank God. I was like, please don't hurt my voice. I am congested.
What's this? Drat, it's just an ordinary electric razor recharging on its stand. I can't believe this. Really? How long do they plan on making me do this? But it's Edgy Poo's idea, so that means it must have a deep hidden meaning. But why do I get the feeling they wouldn't forget about me, would they? I was never like this in the old days. Everyone thought the world of me. They used to call me Queen Wendy and treat me like royalty, and any man who hasn't heard about this is going to feel the pain of my heel. Yes, they're going to feel the burn. And speaking of a bird, playing with fire is very dangerous, and because of that, 3 of the warehouses where they store the scenery were burned right down, and that caused a huge stink that...
Oh my god. Adrian!
I appreciate everything you and Mr. Edgeworth did for me from the bottom of my heart. Oh, that's right. I received a letter from Miss Von Karma. She said that after I get out, I should feel free to consult her about anything at all. I'm really thankful to have met everyone.
Interesting that Francesca tells Adrian to do that. Oh.
It has become difficult for me in this country as of late. As such, I will take a short leave of absence. If you would like to request my services, please be sure to visit my homepage. May we both be blessed with longevity.
He's got a website? That's amazing. I love that. He's got Shelly the Killer's got like a website on the dark web or something like that. Anyway, we're not done just yet. We got a stinger.
March 23rd, 9:42 p.m. International departures, gate 12.
So this is before Edgeworth and Phoenix meet up at the hotel. Listen, I want to believe they had sex in that hotel, in that honeymooner suite. They needed it. Alright.
Where are you going, Franziska?
How did you know I was here?
With this.
That's...
I heard you were planting things on a certain person. Things like tracking devices in his coat, for example.
That's just like you. I only planted it there because he was always wearing it. This filthy, drab coat of his. I don't know how it ended up in my luggage. But it's going in the trash. I promise you that.
Oh, that's right. Speaking of that man, he told me something very interesting.
When I ran off with... It's not letting me... Oh, when I ran off with the 3 items of the things, I was sure I took 4 things in total, sir. It's not letting me, like, you know, skip ahead to the text, so unfortunately we're having to, like, go at this by the game's pace.
4 things.
It seems he put the last one in his coat pocket.
He put it in here. It doesn't matter anymore. The case is already over.
What are you going to do now?
That's none of your business.
Are you running away?
Shut up! You don't understand a thing! You can't possibly understand what it means to be Manfred von Karma's daughter!
Franziska.
So many expectations from everyone around me. Expectations I must fulfill. I'm expected to win no matter what. And failure? Such a thing is not an option for me. My father was a genius. There's no doubt about that. But me, I'm no genius. I've always known that. But I had to be one. I had to.
You may not be a genius like your father, but you are a prosecutor. You have been and always will be.
No, I'm not. Not anymore. I've even thrown my whip away.
Speaking of that, Wright gave me this to hold on to. Right. You knew something like this would happen, didn't you? I'm going to say this again. We prosecutors do not fight for personal honor or pride. I hope you will think deeply about what you should be striking down with that whip.
You haven't changed a bit. You've always left me alone and walked on ahead without me. Miles Edgeworth. I've always hated you. And then, finally, my chance to take my revenge on you arrived. If I could win against that man, if I could make Phoenix Wright bow down in defeat, then this girl you left behind would have risen higher than you. That was supposed to be my revenge.
I see.
You know, I can't do it. I can't change who I am. I can't throw away everything I've been until today.
I believe you can. Just like how Adrian Andrews did.
Adrian Andrews?
You were going to use her during the trial, right? But you were dependent on your father by using his tactics. Isn't that right? Today you chased after me, after I had left you behind all these years. And that's why we're standing here now, side by side. But I have no intention of stopping. If you say you're going to quit your walk down the prosecutor's path, then
This is where we part ways, Franziska von Karma. Aww. I am Franziska von Karma. Don't think I'm going to walk in your shadow forever. Our battle begins now. So you had better prepare yourself, Miles Edgeworth.
She does love her brother. So yeah, he pretty much was like, you know, if you want to... Oh, wait.
Phoenix Wright. One day, someday, I'm sure we'll meet again in battle. Until then, this last piece of evidence that never made it to you. I'll take good care of this fourth piece. So I can give it to you. When at last we meet again.
Aw, and that's the picture Maya drew.
She drew Phoenix.
Farewell, my turnabout. And with that, Justice for All is done. So yeah. So that final piece was pretty much just, like, Edgeworth was pretty much telling Franziska, like, if you want to walk out on me like I did to you all those years ago, you can do it. But I'm not going to stop walking down the path. And Franziska, you know, and pretty much Franziska resolving to stay a prosecutor is pretty much just a subtle confirmation that, yeah, she wants Edgeworth in her life still. She wants her brothers in her life, which I think is so sweet. Like, the thing is, though, is that with those two especially, is that, like, a lot of people have, like, because there are some games that do go more into Edgeworth and Franziska's relationship. Hell, even in the, actually in the first Investigations game, there's a case where you get to play, where you get to have, like, investigation segments where you're investigating with Franziska. But, yeah, a lot of fans really love their relationship because it's like, you know, Edgeworth and Franziska, like, they were both raised under Manfred von Karma, and the thing is that, like, later games show that it seems like von Karma pretty much favored Edgeworth over his own daughter, and he does pit the two of them against each other. And because of that, Franziska, you know, kind of does feel a little bit of, like, you know, like, of animosity towards Edgeworth, even though, because of what her father did. But regardless, like, they do clearly care for one another. And all that. Which makes sense. I mean, remember, friends, I think if I remember right, they're 5 years apart. And in the anime, like, Edgeworth was 8 years old when he was taken in by Von Karma, making Franziska at least 3. So at the very least, like, she had to have grown up with him. You know, and it's like, at the very least, Von Karma was not a great dad, considering everything, so. But, you know, one person did put it, but I remember there was one post where they pretty much said that, like, you know, Edgeworth and Franziska, like, they never, it's so hard for them to be, like, openly affectionate with each other because of how they were raised, but you can definitely tell in their moments with each other just how, you know, how they show their love for each other in their own ways, and it's like that's such a sweet moment, especially in that moment, because it's like Franziska, like, never fucking cries after this. So the fact that she's able to do that with Edgeworth, it's like, aw, she feels. I like to think she does trust him enough to be vulnerable like that with him. Anyway. And we finished this just before midnight, too. So, yay! Man, there is a cricket that is going fucking nuts outside. But anyway, that is the end of Justice for All. Hopefully everyone liked that. Are you ready for the letter soon? Yes, I am. I can't wait to play it on Friday. The only thing I just need to do is update Steam finally. Why does it still say the audio stream bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate? I don't get that. Like, I have not changed anything in the settings. I think YouTube's just bugging. But yeah, we finished Phoenix Wright Justice for All. A little later than expected, but it's still finished. At least in time for the letter, which we are going to be playing all month this month. Because it is a horror game and it's October. And I think we're going to continue on with the same schedule we had last year, which was twice a week. So Fridays and Sundays. And to be fair, we did finish the letter right before Halloween. So I don't imagine that it's going to take this. So I don't imagine that, like, the second run's going to take as long. But if it does, I mean, we could, but I mean, if it does, we could just go on to actual Halloween on Monday. God, I cannot wait for Friday. It's like, I got the letter, we're going back to the letter, I get to listen to some really good Great Ace Attorney tracks, and I get to play D&D later that night. Hopefully my congestion will have cleared up by then. Because, God, this was hard to voice act. I mean, my throat doesn't hurt at all, it's just like, you could clearly tell the voices were so off. But how did everyone like Justice for All overall? Like, I mean, again, this game is kind of considered one of the weakest entries in the series as a whole. You know, especially because of Turnabout Big Top. But a lot of people do consider Farewell My Turnabout to be one of the best cases, so kind of like averages out and all that. But at the very least, you know, the next game in the trilogy is Trials and Tribulations, which a lot of people consider to be one of the best entries of the Ace Attorney series. So that's gonna be fun to start next year. I was gonna say next week. No, next year. Next year's Trials and Tribulations. The thing is, that game is super fucking long. But yeah, but we don't have to worry about that until probably March, knowing our luck. Oh my god. I'm so congested. But anyway, so next stream is gonna be Season 2 of The Letter. Oh god, I don't know if there's gonna be a recap, honestly, because I remember a lot of this shit, but it's also like, we don't even know a lot of the backstory behind what's going on currently. I think what is gonna suck, though, is like having to remember, oh right, there's a bunch of trigger warnings for this game! But yeah, so that of course will be on the 7th of October, this Friday, at of course the usual time of 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Who can't, like, who's ready to get back into our 7 characters and figure out, like, what's truly going on in the Ermengarde mansion, and see if maybe we can get different endings, see which characters we can make live, which characters will die next, who knows? It would be funny if we still got the same fucking endings. But yeah. So yeah. We're going back to The Letter on the 7th. Alright. But, for now, thank you all for joining me on the finale of Phoenix Wright Justice for All. Hope you enjoyed it. And let's try not to kill everyone. I don't think that's gonna be possible. I don't think that's gonna be possible. I think someone's gonna have to die in order for the true, like, cause the thing is like, we are gonna go for the true ending. There is a true ending to The Letter. I'm just purposely choosing not to go for it first try. But anyway, as I was saying, thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you all for the what's a good title? For the Horror Fest that is The Letter this Friday, and of course, throughout the rest of October. And of course, the usual time as always. So, thank you all for joining me. Hope you have a good night, good few days. Stay safe. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, even though everyone wants to pretend it's over. And I will see you all for the second run